welcome to Rob's Whale Show. I'm your host, Rob Spermacetti. Right now, we have a special guest joining us who sailed on the Pequod. His name is Captain Ahab. Please welcome Ahab.
Would you stop that? Enough!
Hello to you too, Ahab.
Hello.
So tell me, why did you take Moby-Dick ripping your leg off so badly? As I recall, Captain Boomer of the Samuel Enderby got his arm ripped off. He wasn't near as angry as you were.
Well, first of all, it hurt like a mother. I mean, look at this thing. You see it?
Yeah?
Yeah, it hurts. Secondly, I was so confused by the certain power the whale had over me. It had such an inscrutable, malicious nature about it. I was so stuck on finding it out and his power and overcoming it. In my journeys, I have realized the power of the sea and the unknown it holds. Because Moby-Dick lives in the sea, he possesses a vast knowledge that I still cannot comprehend. No one has power over me. I have all the knowledge of the world, and yet I can't comprehend this whale. This is why I feel so much resentment towards him.
Well, I see getting dragged down to the depths of the ocean didn't help your attitude much either. Hey! So, how did you miss the warning signs about Moby-Dick, especially near the end of your voyage?
As the voyage pressed on, my obsession to get revenge on Moby-Dick greatly increased. I lost my sense of rational thought, and all of my actions were made in an attempt to find the whale. My own free will was dictating my life. I did not care about the warning signs I was given. I was focused on using whatever it took to find and kill the whale, even if that meant I would have to confront God. I experienced many sleepless nights and violent attacks when my soul tried to escape my body. I knew I had driven myself insane, but I did my best to hide it so I could keep the trust of the crew. It was all in an interest to kill that whale.
Interesting. So, Ahab, why did you decide that fate controlled your life? Weren't you the same person who asked who's over me?
Well, once I kept pursuing Moby-Dick to get revenge, I came to my senses and realized that fate had led me to do this. It was my destiny to get revenge on Moby-Dick. People can call me mad or whatever they want, but they must understand that this pursuit was not a personal choice. It was predetermined that I would chase and kill this whale, and I must fulfill my own destiny.
But you just mentioned it was free will that controlled the search. Was fate just an excuse for your madness?
No! It was certainly not!
Okay. Thank you for your time, Ahab. We have one of his crewmates members with us. Oh my God! We have one of his crewmates with us. Please give a warm welcome for Starbuck. Welcome to the show, Starbuck.
Aye, me harpoon mate.
Can I just say, you look like $1 million, or should I say, $350? Starbuck, why did you choose to not take out Captain Ahab when you had the chance to save the crew?
Well, he was still my captain. I'm a reasoning man, and I felt that despite all the strange things going on in his madness, we would turn out okay. But that final talk I had with him before the Pequod went down, it made me think, if only I had acted more upon my emotions rather than overthinking everything. I suppose the crew would not have sided with him because of their strong reaction to Ahab's quarterdeck speech all those years ago. They probably would have accused me of mutiny instead of agreeing.
But don't you think you could have brought up your fears with the crew instead of just taking him out?
I realized that I was better off not telling the crew because most of them respected Ahab, and I did not want to ruin their beliefs about him. After Ahab's quarterdeck speech, many of the crew members felt enthusiastic about killing Moby-Dick, but they did not realize that the rest of their journey on the Pequod would be centered around killing the whale. I felt like if I told the crew, they would not believe me that Ahab was mad because he played it off well. Ahab knows about his madness and does a great job of hiding it when necessary. I figured that I should not even have tried to explain this to crew members. It just wasn't worth it.
Thank you for your time, Starbuck. And now, another crew member, Ishmael, the only one to survive the tragedy of the Pequod. And now here he is, Ishmael. Hello, Ishmael.
Hello.
Tell me, what was your reaction about learning of the demon crew Ahab stowed aboard?
Believe it or not, I was not too surprised about the whole deal. I had seen the shadows of these men, and I was confused by Ahab's frequent visits below deck. I knew something was up. Knowing Ahab and all his madness, something like this did not come as a surprise to me. That filthy, arrogant...
Alright, enough of that. Well, what was it like to be the last surviving whale person on the whale ship Pequod?
You know, I've said from the beginning that my life was ruled by fate. The 3 fates led me to join the crew on the Pequod. And when I happened to be the last survivor, I knew that fate had put me in this position. I was happy that fate had acted in such a fortunate way, and I am thankful to be alive. It was not in my own power that this happened. After I realized that everyone else was dead, I felt sad for losing my good friend Queequeg. I also missed Stubb, Flask, Starbuck, Tashtigo, and Dagu, and Pip. They were some great men. Because they were all so much different than each other, they really taught me how to be tolerant of different cultures.
And remind our audience, how did you survive the sinking Pequod?
Well, when the ship got taken under by the huge vortex in the water, you know, that thing was pretty crazy. I was left outside it and did not get sucked in. As I mentioned before, fate played a major role in my survival. Fate provided me with Queequeg's coffin, which acted as a life buoy. The buoy reminded me of my good friend, and it showed that we were still connected even after his death. Fate ruled the sharks and the seahawks because they refrained from biting me. It was also fate that Rachel had found me even when they were searching for their missing crew. In my voyage on the Pequod, I came to the realization that life was dictated by fate, chance, and free will. My survival was dictated by fate, and has kept me alive today.
Thank you, Ishmael. Thank you for your time, and get a haircut. Now, we have a special guest at the very end of our show for all of you audience members, especially you. That's right. It's one, the only, the man, or should I say whale, Moby-Dick. And here he is now, Moby-Dick. Look at that majestic.
I'm swimming.
It's beautiful. Simply beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mr. Dick, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm a whale. I live in the ocean. I like to call it my home. I'm pretty big.
Yes, you are.
I'm bigger than every human I've seen so far.
I'm very envious of you.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, you have many great qualities.
Oh,
appetizing legs is one of them.
Looks very good. Speaking of
Yeah.
legs,
Yep.
that fellow Ahab's leg you
Yeah.
have,
Right
what are you
here.
going to do with it?
Well, I mean, at first it looked pretty good, but, I mean, once I have it, I mean, it doesn't really have any function. I mean, I don't really need it anymore.
Well, I think you should throw it to one of our audience members.
It's a good idea.
Tell us a little bit something.
Is that
else,
him?
but-
Oh,
no.
rat.
Is that the one?
Oh, no.
Rat.
Is that
Oh,
the
no.
rat?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation. We have a situation. Oh, no. Well, this has been Rob's Whale Show. I'm Rob Spermacetti. Next time we're interviewing Bigfoot.